Yeah, no problem. Hey, good morning. I'm actually going to grab a little hand towel for you. So I'm going to give this to you. But the nice thing that I was just saying about a small class in the morning is that I get to pull a lot more hats out of the bag, metaphorically speaking. Jeanette at home, just as a heads up, I'm going to need you to have something so that your feet can slide on the floor. If you are on a carpeted space, a pair of socks would work. Otherwise, if you're on hardwood floor, again, socks work. Otherwise, a hand towel is awesome for this. All right, but let's get moving. We're here to move, so child's pose. Toes together, knees out wide, and fingertips all the way up to the head of your mat. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, let your hips settle back towards the far end of your mat. On your next inhale, walk your fingertips up 1 more inch. So we're looking for this big lengthening along your spine as we start class this morning. Now, tune into your breath. This is your breath, so you're creating it as this deep, long, nourishing inhale, followed by a full and complete exhale. Look to deepen your breath, lengthening your inhales and extending your exhales. We're going to go for 1 more round. And on your next breath in, tuck your toes, inhale, come up to downward facing dog. So now we're going to start matching movement with our breath. And that can happen in any way on your body. So on your inhales, let's actually come up onto our tiptoes. Exhale, let your heels drop down towards the mat. Bring the foundation of this pose a little bit wider than usual. Yep, feet out wide, hands out wide. Now, soften your knees and press your sits bones all the way backwards, creating this long stretch from your fingertips all the way back to your hips. That's it. 1 more breath here. Let it go. And then we get to walk our feet all the way to the head of the mat. Take a halfway lift. Ragdoll. C-shaped spine. So think about pulling your belly button up towards the ceiling. But this is actually an important piece of this pose. And it's this pose and every standing pose. It's going to look like this. So first of all, press the knuckle of your big toe down into the mat. So right here. Now lift all of your toes up. Yep, spread them in the air, and then you could sit them back down on the mat. Hug your inner ankles back. So it's length all along the inside of your foot. And then actively hug your outer shins in. This is a slight rotation at your hips in truth. So that's it. Take your feet about 1 more inch wider so you've got a little more space. That's it. Inner ankles back. And then outer shins are going to hug in. Do you feel that in your hips? All right, good stuff. Now, everyone, press your feet into the mat and inhale, roll all the way up to standing. We're going to take extended mountain when we get there. Exhale your hands to heart center. So we start class every morning in the same way. 3 ohms. Take your breath in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Deep breath in, halfway lift, long spine. Chaturanga, slow exhale out. Upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Now 3 breaths here. Inhale. Blow the air back out. 2 more times. Breath in. Let it go. Last one. Big inhale. Bend your knees, exhale, feet to hands. Halfway lift, fold. Extended mountain, breathe in all the way up, fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga, moving with your breath. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Now 3 breaths here. Create that length from your fingertips all the way to your hips. It should feel like you're pressing your tailbone all the way to the back of your mat. That's it. One more breath in. Full breath out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain. Press through your heels. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Our home base pose always is going to get 3 breaths. So see if you can now press your pointer fingers into the mat. At that same time, take a little bit of bend in your knees so that you can really press your sits bones backwards. One more time now. Inhale. Bend your knees. Exhale. Hop. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Last one. Extended mountain. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. Set your gaze. So we call this drishti. That's a Sanskrit word for it. At the back of your mat. Preferably a spot like right in between your toes or something. One more breath in here. Let it go. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. We're going to sit low into this pose. Breathe in, shoulders back. Stay for one more breath. Okay, we're going to stay for a bonus breath after this. One more time. Inhale. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Flowing right through. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one, and stay. So fingertips are reaching up to the ceiling in this pose. Drishti, your gaze up to the ceiling as well. See if you can step low enough into this pose that you can really feel the heat starting to build in your legs. See if you can draw that heat up by engaging your core until you can feel all the sensation all the way into your fingertips. One more breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one, and stay. Yes. Flip your back foot down onto the mat. Now actively press through your pinky toes. So you really want to get this. So the back side of your foot could be like, I have no idea, smushing something very small. And then the inner arch of your foot is lifting up. So you guys stay low in this lunge, and I'm going to round around and do this adjustment real quick. Stay here. We're going to go for one more breath. Okay, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. All right, take a breath in here, and this time let's sigh it out. Yep, let it go. 2 more times. Exhale. Last one in and out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Now we're going to flow. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Right side, warrior one. Plant the foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one. Breathe in, nice and deep. Exhale, chaturanga. You guys are killing it with the breath this morning. Up dog, into down dog. All right, take your breath in, sigh. It's about more than just moving the air in your body. It's about moving the energy too. at a cellular level. One more time, in and out, feet to hands. Halfway lift, fold, chair. Spread your fingers wide, fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog, right side, warrior one. Breathe in as you go up. Chaturanga, hands down. Steady breath through up dog. Into down dog, left side, warrior one. Eyes up. Hands down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, shoulders back. Down dog. All right, yogis, let's bring your right leg into the air. Now I love this stretch in the morning. Bend your top knee, open your hip towards the side of the mat. Now actively pick this top knee up until you can get all of that good side body stretch. You can get this stretch so deep that you're like, oh, that's my core. That's where it is. So see if you can lift that knee 1 inch higher. Okay, stay or flip dog. That's it. So no worries. Take a look around when you need some help getting to this pose. So we're going to flip this foot over. Yes, there we are. All right, now bring your feet together so that they're, rotate this one. Yes, that's it. All right, so this right hand, we're going to reach it towards Courtney beside you. Now, Courtney, you're going to reach to Gracie. Everyone all the way out to the side. I'm going to give you a high five. Stay right here. All right, flip it over. High plank. Side plank. Now, you get to go for your choice of side plank today. I've got no comments. All we're going to do is breathe 3 times. Yes, Courtney is my breath leader this morning. That's it. After this last one, on the exhale, chaturanga. Nice job, guys. Up dog. Down dog. Right side crescent lunge. Or, right side crescent lunge. I know, we're going to have to even out that side on the next one, so don't worry. All right. Now, this is the first time we get to use these fancy hand towels. So let's pretend this outline is my mat. Since we're going with right side first, this towel is going to go on the left side of your mat over the edge. It's important that the towel is on your floor, on the floor. Now, foot onto this towel, and here's how we're using it. So you're going to come down low in this crescent lunge, back foot on the towel. On your exhale, you want to slowly slide your knee all the way up and into your chest. On your inhale, foot down, slide it back. We're looking for slow and controlled 4 times. Exhale all the way up. Inhale, foot down, and slide it back. Exhale all the way up. Nice job, guys. Inhale, foot down, and slide. I wasn't counting. I think it's 2 more times. Exhale up. Foot down, inhale, slide. Last one, bring your knee all the way into your chest. Inhale, foot down, slide it back to crescent lunge. Keeping your foot there, hands to heart center, twist to the right. So I know your foot is on a slidey thing and you're like, Ruby, the foundation of this pose is all messed up. This is going to make you engage your core more. So think about lifting this left hip. Yes, even as you keep twisting, this back leg is super active. Good job. You've got it. One more breath here. Go for it. On your inhale, rise up, take crescent lunge. All right, warrior 2, and your feet can come back on the mat. I know that one's real tricky, especially to stay in the crescent lunge twist. Yes, so warrior 2. Nice job. You're catching on super quick. Good stuff. Come down here, low in this lunge. I know, nobody wants to go lower in the lunge here. 1 more inch, extended side angle. Now, you get to do this pose however you want, but the thing we're looking for is a stretch over the top side. So bring your hand up like you're going to give me a high five here. Yes. So your back foot connected all the way up through that hand. Lift it towards the ceiling. 1 more breath. All right, hands down, chaturanga. Up dog. Into downward facing dog. Big breath out. Let's take a sigh when we get here. Move the air in. Sigh it out. Now left leg goes in the air. Straight up. Bend the top knee, open up your hip, go for all of that good space. Flip dog. Now, I love to stop breathing here in this pose. Instead, see if you can drag the air into your lowest lungs. You have this. Drishti, your gaze is active. Throughout the duration of this pose, last breath. Stay for the exhale and bring it over. High plank. Through to side plank, left hand down, right hand up to the ceiling. Now, this pose is about lift. So look over your top fingertips. You've got this. And then we're going to reach it the whole way up to the ceiling. Good job. Stay here. We're going to go for one more breath in, lifting all the way. Chaturanga, both hands down. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Yep, breath in. Sigh. Left side crescent lunge. Now you guys know where we're going. Left foot is in front. Now right foot is going to go onto our little slidey item. Here it is. We're going to go low into this lunge. Think about your left glute doing a lot of this work. Take your breath in. Exhale, slide it all the way up, knee into your chest. That's one. Inhale, slide it back. Exhale all the way up, knee to your chest. Slide it back. Round two. Good job. We've only got 3 more. Exhale, slide. Inhale, step. Gentle. Exhale, slide. You're at the last 2. Inhale, step. Last one. Exhale, slide it all the way up. Don't give up yet. Slide the foot back. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Now, this is all you have to do. Gaze to one point and breathe. That's all there is in these poses. You create the shape, and then you use your gaze, and you breathe in the pose. Here it is. Last one. On your inhale, we'll rise up, take crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Yep, feet can go back on the mat for this one. All right. Pressure down into both of your big toes. You want to get all of the energy from the foundation of the pose. It's important. Your feet and your legs have to be engaged so that you can come down, extended side angle. Yes, look for the release in this pose. The practice is about the balance of effort and ease. Sthira and Sukha. Find some ease right now. Sukha Asanam. Yes, one more breath here. Get nice and low. On your exhale, both hands down. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And into down dog. Yep, take your breath in. Exhale, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair. Bring your hands to heart center. Chair twist to the right. Now let's go for open arms today. I'm loving this to help lift that right shoulder towards the ceiling. It's all about softening between your shoulder blades so that you can get the full twist up. That's it. Pull this knee back just a little bit. Yep, keeping the other one bent. Good job. Last breath. And on your inhale, rise up, take chair pose. Fold. Bring your feet to the edge of the mat. Point your fingers around your big toes and let your head drop down. You can shake your head yes and no here. I just realized that I forgot my water bottle on the front desk, so I'm going to grab that real quick. One moment. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's no problem for me. I do the same thing when I'm practicing. If I can see that clock, I'm like, oh, what time is it the whole time? Let's shake your head yes and no once more. Okay, chair round 2. Here we go, right back into the work of it. Feet together, sitting nice and low. Here it is. Look down for a second at your knees. We're going to keep them level, not one in front of the other, but right like this, hands to heart center, twist to the left. Now, immediately what your body's going to want to do is shove that right knee forward. See if you can actively draw it backwards. Even at your hip, drawing it back. Last breath in. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, rise, take chair pose. Fold. Feet out wide on the mat. Tuck your palms under your toes and let your head drop down. See if you can use your elbows to help you fold just a little bit deeper. Pulling them down and out towards the side so you can create a little bit more space for yourself. All right, bring your feet out wide on the mat. We're going to take a goddess squat. So feet not only to the edge of the mat, but you're also pointing your toes outwards, hands to heart center. And then the inside, or your elbows will come to the insides of your knees. The important piece here is to continuously roll your shoulders back. You don't want to keep them hunched, but really create this opening. Now from here, press your right hand down onto the mat and then lift this left one up. So you can choose to stay here in this lift, or you can take the bind around this right knee. So it actually looks like, yes, some of you guys are going for it immediately. And if you can't quite reach, you can always use a strap or a towel to help get your hands there. That's it. So do you guys want to know a fun thing that you can do from here? There's a bird of paradise, right? We know what that might look like. It's your elbow usually under your knee and then lifting up like this. But you can actually grab this pose and do much of the same thing. So it's foot pressing down into the mat, and then you lift the whole way up. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you want to try it on, it's like a 1, 2, 3, and go. If you find yourself falling over, you can just release. That's it. Flex that foot. You've got a little more space. All right. Bring your feet down and take a forward fold. So that's a lot of effort and stretch energy in your hips. So bring your feet wide. Then you're going to shake your hips from right to left here. You're looking to release some of that. I know it's a big stretch to get down there. Let's try it on one more time. So we're going to sit low into goddess squat. You start with your elbows at your knees. Now, step one is left hand onto the mat, and we're going to reach the right hand up this time. This is an awesome stretch. You could choose to stay here, or if you want to bring it up one more level, bind your hands behind your back. If that's feeling pretty good and you can scoot your right foot in a little bit, from here you can see if you can press it up and into a bound bird of paradise in a different way. Yes, Courtney's got the full bird of paradise she's trying on here. That's it. We're going to take 2 more breaths. You can explore the pose in any way that you want. Last one. And feet down. All right. Forward fold. Shake out your hips. Do whatever you need to. Halfway lift on your inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Breathe in. Down dog. Take an inhale. Move the air out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, roll up to standing. We're going to take right side eagle. That means right arm wraps under and right leg wraps over. Now the whole trick with equanimity, that's this particular like mini series, the balancing series, it's going to be keeping some bend in your bottom knee. Inhale, step out, and we'll go to left side. Left arm wraps under, left leg wraps over. Keep your gaze active. Choose one spot to look at that's not moving. On your next inhale, step out. Second set, right arm under, right leg over, eagle. This is more like your prep pose for the rest of them. So this is the pose where you have to get your gaze really set. Like, be rigorous about it. Every time your eyes wander, right back to this spot. Bottom knee is bent and your breath is moving. On your next inhale, we'll step out, left arm under, left leg over. Second set, second side. This is the last eagle. So get those three components together. Foot grinding down into the mat, big toe down. Gaze and breath. Last breath here. Inhale, step out. Now we move to standing leg raise. And you can choose to do this either any way that you like to. Whether you're grabbing for your knee or reaching all the way for your toes. You can alternatively use a strap to reach for your toes or a towel instead. All of those options work. Feet active. Bottom knee, just a little bit of bend. From here, we're going to take one more breath before we bring our legs and eyes back to center and move for airplane. So leg is going to go straight out behind you. Now flex your back foot and press your heel backwards, almost like you've got a hand right behind you on your heel, or like you're going to kick the wall behind you, otherwise a yogi neighbor behind you. Now take half moon, keeping all of that length. Okay, you've got it. Front ribs are going to draw in towards center. Press back through this heel. Oh, Courtney, I got you just at the wrong time. Here it is. Press through the heel. Even as you lift in the side of your hip, one more breath. All right, feet down. Good job. You can rock right to left. On your next inhale, we're going to rise the whole way up to standing, and we get to do left side. Grab your knee, go for your toes, use a strap, whatever version of standing leg raise is going to work for you today. Set it up, take it on. Feet active. You can bring your legs out to the left, eyes over your right shoulder. Now the pro tip here is to spread your fingers on your right hand and reach through that palm. Eyes and knees back to center. Airplane. Reaching all the way backwards towards the far end of your mat. Feet active. Breath active. Press through your heel. You've got this. Just like that, all the way backwards. Half moon. So right hand's going to go down, left hand up towards the ceiling. Yeah, a water bottle or a block can be really useful under this right hand. That's it. Press this heel back all the way. You've got this. Last breath. All right, feet down. Good things. All right, you can sway right to left here. Oh, you know what? We're going to do standing bow today. So if you don't already have a strap with you this morning, I'm going to come around with one. Jeanette, you know at home you can use a belt will work for this, a bath towels, a robe. I think robe, the belt of a robe is what I was going for. That's what it was. Anything like that. So here's how we're going to set this pose up. Your strap is going to be in both hands. You're going to loop it around your ankle and the right foot. And then I want you to shorten this strap. So you want it so that your hands are essentially at your hips with your knee at pretty much a 90-degree angle so that your shin is parallel with the ground. All right, so once you've got that, your elbows are going to tuck in towards you until you have this little like W going on with your arms. From here, you lift your elbows up and then lift your hands up. This is standing bow. Support this pose with your low belly and breathe. It's going to make the whole thing easier. The more breath that you bring into it. Last one. Feet down. You can just release the strap. We used to do these with the resistance bands. I still love that way of doing it. Let's switch for left side. So strap goes pretty short. I think that you can actually shorten that strap just a little bit more this time. So yep, nice and close. Now elbows wrap in, creating the W. Your hands are going to get a little longer on the strap as you do this. Elbows up, and then hands lift up for standing bow. That's it. Steady breath. You've got it. Gentle bend in the bottom knee. Now press your big toe down into the mat. Like hard. You have this. Last breath here. Feet down. All right, A+. We're going to round this out with tree pose. So all the way up the head of your mat, let's bring your foot up to either your thigh or anywhere below your knee. And we're going to tent our hands this morning at hands to heart center. So each of your fingertips lining up with the opposite fingertip, and breathe. 2 more breaths here, slow and controlled. Last one. On your exhale, feet down. We get to switch left side tree pose. Foot up at your thigh, wherever it works for you, and then fingertips tented. You're looking to feel your heartbeat in this pose. Let's look for that. The physical sensation of it. You might feel it in your fingertips or hear it in your own head, in your heart. Last breath in, feet down. Now come to the head of your mat. We're going to inhale and take extended mountain, lifting all the way up. Fold with your breath out. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take right side triangle. Right foot is going to come all the way forwards. Right hand down either to your ankle, your shin, or a block behind your foot. That's it. So the real thing you want to look for here is a long side body. So from your hips reaching all the way forwards. Yeah, you guys are doing a really nice job with that this morning, actually. A+. Now engage your low belly. You want to engage your low belly so much that you take that dip out of your low back. You can feel the whole thing straighten out. That's good adjustments across the board here. On your next inhale, rise up to standing. Both feet face the long end of your mat for side facing, wide-legged forward fold. Now, let's go for ninja lunges this morning. So on your breath in, you're going to bend your right knee, straightening out your left. And then on your exhale, you get to swap sides. You can do this either with your hands on the floor, or if you're like, Ruby, that's way too easy for me, you can take your hands up off of the floor and make it more of a strength pose instead of a flexibility pose. Well, more like a strength emphasis. Let's take 2 more breaths to even out your sides. Come back to center. And then we're going to try the half split variation. So walk your hands over to the front of your mat. Right leg is going to be out front and knees correct. And then left knee tucked. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, you guys could do namaste front facing forward fold if that's what you'd like. That's fine by me. So namaste front facing forward fold looks one direction, and then half splits or full splits looks another one. So to just decide what's going to work for you this morning. A half split is going to look like this. Yeah, and you're good with your namaste front facing forward fold. Don't worry. Everybody, either press your toes down into the floor or pull your toes back towards your face. No matter what, there's like an emphasis happening here in your front foot. This works for everyone. Draw your right hip backwards. The tendency here is to let it slide forwards, letting your hip open towards the side of the mat. Instead, you want your hips looking directly towards the front of your mat. Now, twisting triangle variations for namaste front facing forward fold or twisting split. So you can add a twisting split here in a lot of different manners. Personally, I like left hand up towards my right toes and then looking towards the right side of my mat for a twisting split. Stay here for 2 breaths. Each exhale getting a little more twist. 1 more breath, twisting it all out. Move back through to downward facing dog. If you're dying for a vinyasa, like a chaturanga, you can do that, or left side triangle. I love it when we're cohesive. Left foot all the way to the front of your mat, triangle. Now, feet active. That means your big toe is pressing down into the mat and your legs are active, almost like you're gonna crunch the mat up between your feet. You're gonna slide them together and create a little wrinkle on the mat. So that's the kind of leg activity that you have to have here in order to support enough that you can lift through your top fingertips all the way to the ceiling. On your next inhale, we'll rise to stand and take side-facing, wide-legged, forward fold. Now, yogis, walk your feet off your mat towards the back, and then walk your hands all the way to the far edge of your mat. So your feet are going to be off one side, and then your palms are just barely on that mat. Now, we're going to take our little slidey item, and you're going to sit both of your feet on it. You want your palms on the mat, feet off of the mat. You're going to start in like a very short downward facing dog. So your feet pretty close to your hands. On your inhale, slide your feet back until you reach a high plank. Exhale, slide them up towards your hands. That's it. Inhale, sliding all the way back. Exhale, feet slide up to your hands. Yes, you got that. Engaging all the way through your core. Let's do it 2 more times. You have this. Feet out. Inhale, bring them up. Last one. Here it is. Slide them up. Okay, good stuff. Feet back onto the mat, and we're going to take our Namaste front facing forward fold or half split variations. So that means right knee is down on the ground now for half splits. Left foot out in front of you in all of the variations. Now, that is one of my absolute favorite exercises for building enough core muscle to get upside down. It's a killer. Not only do you feel it in your core, but you also probably had that distinctly in your shoulders and your upper back. Engage this left foot, pulling your toes back or pressing your big toe down into the mat. Think about creating length from this front heel all the way up and back through your hip. That's it. Press this one back just up. Oh, yes, that's a big adjustment there. Now, looking to keep your hips level in this pose. Let the right hip come down a little bit further. Yeah, just like that. Twisting triangle or twisting split. You have this. So this is a little trick, by the way, that I learned in a teacher training once. You can actually use a block in Namaste front facing forward fold to enhance the fold because you actually can't let it slip out towards the side. Oh, here you go. No problem. Right hand down just a little, or right hip down just a little more. Yes, and now think about length all the way. Oh, yeah, that's a big adjustment in this pose. Okay, one more breath in. Both hands down, chaturanga. That was awesome. Good job. Upward facing dog. Down dog. When you get here, we're going to roll all the way out to our high plank and onto the mat beneath of us. Beneath of us. Beneath us. Hands out to your side. We're going to take locust pose. Just one today. So hands out long. You're going to hug everything into center. Lift up on your inhale. Shoulders up, toes up. Now, an important piece here, keep your chin tucked towards your chest. That's it. All the length and back down. You can tuck your knees from side to side or just lay low. Let's take a floor bow. We're going to do one set of these as well. So you can grab your outer ankles. Feet are going to flex. Ready, set, yogi, go. Press your shins back. That's it. Now breathe deep here. So deep that you can rock this pose forwards and backwards if you want. Just a little bit. Try it out right here for one breath. All right, down. Hands by your low ribs. Let's take up dog. Inhale, lift the whole way up. Exhale, place your knees down and come all the way back into bridge pose. Now we're going to take bridge pose at like the very bottom of your mat. So your hips will still be on the mat, but your heels are off. And guess what? We're going to bring our little slidey thing, aka a hand towel, socks, whatever it is, right under your heels. So lift your hips up. We're going to take bridge pose round one. Now you can choose to do this with both heels moving at the same time. I personally prefer one at a time. You'll see why. So I'm going to start with my right foot, and that's the only one touching the slidey thing. So on your exhale, you're going to slowly extend this right foot, keeping your hips level. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, slowly extend. Looking for control, inhale up. Let's do it 2 more times. Exhale, extend. Inhale up. Last one, exhale, let it go. Inhale all the way back, and then we'll switch sides. Let's bring our hips down. Rock your knees from right to left. We're going to do a little low back release, and then we can switch the sides. So slidey item under your left foot this time. Bridge pose, hips down, hips up. And here we go 5 times. Exhale, extend. Inhale back. 4, exhale, extend. Inhale back. 3, let it go. Bring it back. 2, you're almost there. Bring it back. Last one, exhale. Inhale, hips down. All right, hips or knees right to left. I'm going to take a vote. Are we going to go up for wheel pose today? Thumbs up. Yes? Okay, we've got at least one taker. So, are you ready? Set. You can stay in bridge or move all the way up into wheel. Let's go. Press down, lift up, inhale. Looking all the way to bridge or wheel. Here it is. 5, 4. You guys are killing it. 3, 2, 1. Chin to chest all the way back down. Take Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together with one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Get connected with your body, with your breath. Now we have done our fair share of abs today. So let's move to happy baby. Hands by the outer edges of our feet. And rock right to left. A little bit of movement here. Think about pulling your sacrum, so that lowest part of your spine, down towards the mat beneath you. You can almost think of it like the back of your pelvis. Now hug your knees into your chest, and we're going to rock head to toe 3 times so that you can make your way all the way into right side half pigeon. So right side half pigeon starts in downward facing dog. From down dog, take your right foot and sit it behind your left wrist. Now you'll bend your knee as you lower your hips down towards the mat. And if you get pretty close and you're like, okay, this is maximum for me, but that hip is still off the mat, stick a block underneath of it. Now, I always like to know where you could go in a pose, what the biggest version of it would be like. And the biggest version of this half pigeon would be your front shin parallel to the front of the mat and the side of your thigh parallel to the side of your mat. So there's like a perfect 90-degree angle. If you're in the studio, by the way, there's a yoga book by the couch on the little coffee table there that has a whole bunch of photos of yoga masters doing a lot of these poses. And let me tell you, some of them, I was like, oh, I didn't know that was, number 1, physically possible. And then number 2, where that pose supposedly went. It's always helpful to know where the pose is going so that you know where you're working towards. Steady breath even here. You know, yesterday when I took class, the instructor explained the breath like this, and it really stood out to me. Or like, think about your breath like the gas for a car. It's not actually going to make the car go faster. Like, adding more gas doesn't make it go faster. The gas is the thing that makes it work in general. You couldn't have it without that. Fine, if you drive a Tesla, make it electric energy, all of that option. But get that the breath is the pose. This whole practice, the entire asana, is just one big breathwork exercise. Without the breath, there is no practice. Let's swap through to left side. So we're going to go through the same process. This time, left ankle by your right wrist, and then lower yourself down. So in a pose like this, where your body gives you a lot of feedback or sensation, this is one of the ways to stay present with the pose. Choose the sensation. You know, your hearing, your sight, the feeling of your hands touching the ground, tactile senses. Choose the sense that is most vibrant to you. It can be the way that you hear your breath moving from inhale to exhale, the feeling of your hands touching the ground, even all that sensation from the hip, your hip, that can help keep you present here. But choose one sense and stick to it. Just like your drishti, where you're bringing your eyes back to the same point that you're looking at, your attention, or another form of drishti, is also on this one sense. The thing that's going to help you stay anchored here in this pose and not let your mind wander. Deepen your breath. Bring your weight onto your left hip and swing your right leg around. We're going to go for tabletops, fingertips facing your heels. A reverse plank is also an option here. Press down, hips up, head back. That's it. Lift all the way for tabletop, hips 1 inch higher. All right, all the way down. Now we're going to move into fish, but you guys all have the full width blocks. And this pose is really amazing, in my personal opinion, if you have a half width block. There it is. So for this pose, the block is going to go right between your shoulder blades on your thoracic spine, like right here. I'm going to move that down onto the mat for you. So fish involves your chest being elevated. If you're going to use a block, you'll also extend your arms out towards the side of the mat with your palms flipped up. See, the half block is like a whole different experience in this pose. Yeah. Going the half direction so that you can actually get your shoulder blades around it. You can alternatively take Supta Baddha Konasana legs here. So soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. If you find yourself looking a little bit like the Hunchback of Notre Dame after spending a full day looking at your computer or your phone, this is the counter pose that you want to use at night to correct what our anatomy instructor lovingly calls tech neck. Fish can be quite a challenging pose, though. It's challenging because it's a big heart opener. You're feeling all of that stretch across your chest. And oftentimes, what your body wants to say to you in this pose is that, stop, escape, let's leave, because it feels vulnerable. But the thing is this. You're in this yoga room. You're really pretty safe here. There isn't a predator likely coming. So these sensations that your body is giving you, these signals to leave and escape the pose, breathe through them. You know that you're safe here. You know that you can stay for another breath. Nothing bad is going to happen. So what happens when you sit with the discomfort that comes with this pose? Not even the discomfort of the physical opening, but it's more like the emotional one where your sympathetic nervous system is going, let's leave this now. What if you stay for one more breath? See if you can deepen your inhale and get these full, complete exhales. That's it. 2 more times here, all the way out on the empties. This is the last one in and out. Now bring your left hand underneath of your neck and head. It's going to be important for this. So your left hand is going to support your head as you rock off to the right side of this block, rolling onto your right side body. Yes. Okay, now you get to remove the block from underneath of your spine. We're going to get our hips up above our heart one more time in a shoulder stand or waterfall. So waterfall is the version of this pose where the block is under your hips. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, you guys are so cohesive this morning. I'm loving it. You make my job so easy. Now, if you guys didn't notice, there is a cold tie towel by the upper right-hand corner of your mat. And as soon as these come to you in any class, you're welcome to use them from then on. So if you'd like to, you can start using that cold eye towel now. Take just another breath or two in this particular waterfall. And when you're done, we're going to bring our feet down onto the mat. Remove those blocks from underneath of us, and we'll take supine twist. So knees into your chest. This is important. Let your knees drop to the left. Eyes over your right shoulder. Yogis are not all that creative. If you notice, a lot of these poses are actually the same, just done in a different direction. This is chair twist to the right. So we're going to create length all along this side and then gently deepen this twist. That's it. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. Just like that, big exhale. On your next breath in, we'll switch sides. So knees up into your chest. Let them drop to the right side this time, eyes over your left shoulder. And we're going to even out the sides here. So take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let yourself twist. 2 more times. 1 more. Slow exhale. On your next breath in, hug your knees up into your chest. We'll take Shavasana, letting your legs and arms go long with your eyes closed. Let your body find stillness. Let your mind find stillness. Set your attention onto your breath. Listening and feeling your inhales flowing right into your exhales. Find ease. If there are any areas of tension in your body, place your attention to this one point and breathe until that tension starts to dissipate. Bring softness to your breath. Slowly letting your inhales lengthen. Let your head drop. On your next exhale, slowly let your whole body relax down onto the mat. Getting this feeling of complete and utter support from the ground underneath of you. On your next inhale, gently bring movement back to your fingers and back to your toes. When you're ready, hug your knees up into your chest and rock onto your right side with your forehead on the floor. With your next breath in, rise up to a seated position. On your inhale, reach your fingertips all the way up. Exhale your hands down to heart center. We'll close class today with one Om all together. Take your breath in. Bring your thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Now, at the end of class, we bow our heads and we say namaste. But the thing is, namaste means the light in me or the goodness in me sees, honors, and acknowledges the light in each and every one of you. So together, we bow our heads and we say namaste. Thanks, yogis. Good to see you this morning. It was so much fun to have you guys in class today. I'm so glad that you each came. It was just a lot of fun for me, and I hope that you had a good time too. Yeah. Oh. A Lancaster studio. Inversions is anything where you're getting your hips above your heart, but most people consider them to be headstands, handstands, forearm balances. So if you're interested in learning how to get up there, let me tell you this first. All of the hard work is done on the mat. There's a lot of prep for learning how to engage your core in like the deep core in order to get upside down. So if you're interested in that, I recommend the workshop this weekend. You can drop in. I think we'll have enough. I think we've got enough space for that. And we can always open the wall.